Alright everybody, welcome back to another turn of Operation, not Maroon, we're done with that one, Outer Space. We'll be moving on to Japan 8, that's January of 1940. Before we get into it, we do have a few bits of housekeeping. Go oldest to newest. From the German turn, I believe is the oldest one we have to address. There should be 2 Marines dead in Alsace-Lorraine. From the Soviet turn, the medium armor should have been lend-leased to Western Germany. Doesn't have a path to Bavaria. And also, the Moscow Peace Treaty, when it's terminated, Finland aligns to Germany. So Helsinki is now German and has German units around it. And I do believe that's all of the housekeeping we need to address. Okay, we'll jump straight into it. We'll start, as always, with the tech. We have rolled this one off-screen using Dice Maiden. Oh, I don't recall what the heavy armor actually landed on, but it was a hit. Let me pull it up here. It was an 8, so it was barely a hit. Yeah. So Japan has heavy armor complete, and once more fails to progress on LRA. Okay, moving over to the purchases, we have 21 to spend. We will be spending 19 of it in the production phase. We will be buying a strategic bomber and a heavy armor. And we will be spending the other 2 on increasing dat-out influence roll to clear the bank. Technically, those last 2 don't get spent right now, but just for simplicity, we'll clear it. So now we'll move into the combat movement phase, and this one's going to be a spicy one. So we're going to start from P50. The second fleet has a heavy cruiser that's moving up from P50 into P41, and then it's going into P42, simultaneously to the destroyer in P14, and a Marine being loaded onto the destroyer in P15 from Kyushu, and those units are both entering P32 as well. Because I am at war with the KMT, and I don't want that submarine to engage, so he can shoot if he wants, but I think I'm just going to pass probably. The French are unable to declare war on the Japanese at this point. Okay, so then all of those units are going to be leaving the sea zone. 1 destroyer is going to be just parking in P41. The heavy cruiser is returning to P50. And the loaded destroyer is moving from P15, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll be ending in P52, where the Marine will be conducting. Oh, I'm not going to declare that yet. No amphibious assaults yet. He's just sitting there peacefully. Don't mind him. Okay, so now we're past the KMT. We're past the French subs. Okay, from the 6th Fleet in P50, we're going to have 1 heavy cruiser move up into P50 and join the 8th Fleet, which I've broken off of the 2nd Fleet. And the 8th Fleet is going to consist of 2 light cruisers. I've messed something up. Yeah, I cheated. Okay, so 1 of these heavy cruisers. I'm 100% certain I have a viable set of movements to get everything where it needs to go. But the heavy cruiser that started from here had to come from the 8th Fleet in order to have the range that it needed. So 1 of these is the one that went up and back, and then there was 1 from here, the 6th Fleet, that moves up into P50 and joins the 8th Fleet. Okay, so then the 8th Fleet now has 1 TBD, 2 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 destroyers, and a naval transport. And they're going to load the naval transport and the destroyers. 2 Marines are going to get on those destroyers. And then a Marine and an infantry are going to get on the naval transport. And then the whole 8th Fleet is going to leave P-50 and move out over into the Indian Ocean. Once again, this is before the British have a chance to declare war on me. So the coastal artillery is not relevant. Okay, and then they'll continue from there later. Now, as a declaration of war, I am declaring a surprise attack on P-61 and on Java. The 2nd Fleet from P-50 is moving 1-2 into P-61. Those 2 naval transports are going to be loaded up with 3 Marines and an infantry. And then the 2nd Fleet is 2 battleships, a battle cruiser, 2 submarines. They're going to be joined by some units from the 6th Fleet, 1 heavy cruiser, and 2 coastal submarines going to be coming down here as well. We're going to have a map aircraft preventing the submarine from doing whatever he wants. It's going to be a fighter from the light carrier. And it will have 4 movement range left. We're going to be using these green die because I don't know where the dynamic fuel markers are. These are static and annoying to use. So, this fighter will have 4 movement left. It will be flying 1 into the sea zone, but it gets a movement boost for surprise attack. Okay. And we also have screening. The 2 coastal submarines and the 2 normal submarines from the 2nd Fleet are going to be screening. And then the cruisers and battleship are going to be continuing with the naval transports onto Java. And they will be joined in Java by 2 tactical bombers, which will also have 4 movement remaining for the same reason. Okay, so now I have declared war on the British Commonwealth and declared those attacks. Okay, so now I'm also going to declare war on France. I have to roll income increases for the US. I am declaring war on both France and on Great Britain, but they only get 5d12. So we'll be rolling that here. Eesh. 30, 41. That was 5. Okay. That's 41. That's 62. That's literally bringing them right underneath wartime. That's horrendous. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's just what this game needed. Alright, continuing. I don't have anything I can declare war on the Americans with, so we're just gonna not do that either. Okay, so I've declared war on France. From Siam, the motor infantry is going to take Annam Tonkin. Light armor is going to take Cochin China. We have an infantry from Siam taking Burma. We have one of the Marines from Formosa boarding the destroyer that's in P-41 and then taking Hong Kong. From P-50, we still have a naval transport. We still have several naval transports. One of them will be moving up into P-41, picking up a Marine from Formosa, Moving back into P50, the Marine will be amphibiously assaulting Sumatra, and an infantry from the 97th Army, 97th, there it is, will be coming out onto that naval transport and then amphibiously assaulting Sarawak. Okay. We have a naval transport in P50 that's going to be picking up a Marine and an infantry. And then it will be moving with a torpedo boat destroyer 1-2 into P60, where the Marine will take West Timor, the infantry will take Celebes, and the torpedo boat destroyer will be screening in case that matters with the seaplane, but I don't think it does anyway. We also have the last naval transport in P50. It's going to pick up a Marine and an infantry. And then it will be moving with a torpedo boat destroyer, South 1C zone, into P59. Yeah. And both of those units will be amphibiously assaulting Borneo from P59. Okay. I think that's the naval transport movements done. Now that I've already declared war, the totally peaceful Marine in P52 is going to be taking Dutch New Guinea. Okay, a few more ship combat movements. From the 6th Fleet, we're going to have a light carrier move over into P60. We're going to have a heavy cruiser just staying in P59, bombarding Borneo. We have another fleet carrier on the 6th Fleet moving 1, 2. It'll continue with the 8th Fleet later, but that's the 6th Fleet entirely disbanded. The other aircraft carrier will be leaving P50 as well, moving 1, 2 to P41, just hanging out there. Okay. And then we have the heavy cruiser that came up and escorted from the KMT submarine. He's going to be bombarding from P50 into Sumatra. Okay, so we've got one infantry unit there, 4 there, 1 there. Okay. Alright, we'll work on Southeast Asia now. The 41st Army, or all that's left of it after the 97th has embarked and gone everywhere. The 41st Army, which is 1 mountain infantry, 6 infantry, and 5 artillery, is going to be taking British Malaya, hopefully. We have from the 18th Air, there's a seaplane that's going to be mapping into P49 to suppress the coastal submarine and keep him from messing with that amphibious assault. We have a tactical bomber flying to Calcutta. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and it will have 1 movement remaining. We have a fighter flying from Siam, I guess 1, 2 into Sarawak, and it will have 2 remaining. From P59, we have a tactical bomber hitting Sumatra. It'll have 3 remaining. and the same with Java and 3 remaining. Okay, that's all the aircraft. Okay, from the 8th Fleet, we have 1 destroyer moving into I-7 and taking Maharashtra, and the other destroyer is moving into I-4 and taking Aden. There we go. Okay, and then the rest of the 8th Fleet, including the fleet carrier that joined them from the south, are all moving into I-11. We are at war with the French. They are choosing not to engage as I enter. We're going to be splitting the 8th. Let's see. Let's move this over here. We'll have a screening force of 2 light cruisers, a torpedo boat destroyer, and the fleet carrier, and then a continuing force of the naval transport and the 2 heavy cruisers conducting an amphibious assault on Calcutta. The submarine is choosing to engage the continuing force, so we will have to roll that out. Okay, I do believe that has all of the combats officially declared. That's a long list. Alright, let's go ahead and start rolling them out. We'll start in P61 and Java, because that's the surprise attack. We'll start in P61. We have first striking aircraft. That's a oh, it's not going to be a tactical bomber anymore. Change plans. So it's going to be a fighter rolling at 4, first strike. That's a miss. And then the defenders have a first strike submarine rolling at 2. That is a miss. Okay, so no matter what, he's going to go away. Okay, and then for the rest of the attack, we have 2 coastal submarines and 2 normal submarines, and none of them hit. And then on defense, we have a destroyer rolling at 3, also missed. The submarine in defense is going to submerge, and we will continue with round 2 of combat. All misses across the board. Round 3. There's a hit and a miss on defense. Okay, so the destroyer's dead, and that combat is over, and the amphibious assault does get to continue. Okay, and then we'll go straight on to Java. We have 2 battleships first bombarding at 4, a battle cruiser bombarding at 3, and a heavy cruiser bombarding at 2. That's 2 hits on bombard. That'll be the 2 militia. Very nice. And then we also have 2 tactical bombers first striking for surprise attack. 1 more hit, and I'm going to target select an infantry for that. He doesn't get to roll. Nice. Okay, for the rest of the attack, we have 4 infantry class units just attacking at 1 in the mountains. 1 hit. Nice. And in defense, we have a infantry rolling at 4. Yes, fantastic. So Java falls with no casualties. Okay. Let's go ahead and manage the occupation tokens as well while I'm down here. Okay, so that's gone. That's gone. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and do P-59 now. It's just a seaplane. I didn't set any die aside for that fight. Okay, so just roll this die, rolling at a 3 or less for the seaplane. That's 5, that's a miss, so the submarine survives. Oh boy, lots of submarines. Okay, but the naval transport is still going to die automatically. Okay, then we'll go ahead and roll for Borneo. We have a heavy cruiser bombarding at 2. That's a miss. And then we have 2 infantry class units attacking at 2 and a tactical bomber. That's all we need for the hits. And in defense, we have a militia rolling at 2. That is a hit. So we lose a marine, and they lose Borneo. Alright, let's roll for Sarawak now. We do not have a bombard on this one. Okay, so we have a fighter rolling at 4 and an infantry attacking at 1 in mountains. And then a defense roll at 2. Round 2. There's a hit. Okay, we're gonna retreat out of that fight, and they hold Sarawak. Okay. Okay. Continuing. Okay, continuing on to Sumatra. We have a heavy cruiser bombarding at 2. That is a miss. We have a marine at 2 and a tactical bomber. All miss. Defense 2. Miss. Okay. On to round 2 of combat. There's what I need. No hit on defense, so Sumatra falls as well. Alright. Okay. Going reasonably well. Let's go. We only have 2 left, Malaya and Calcutta. Let's go ahead and roll for Malaya. I have that one set up at the battle board. Yeah, okay. We have attacking 5 artillery at 2, first strike. 1 hit. It's going to go on a militia. And then on defense, we have 2 first strike rolls for the fortification. No hits. Phenomenal. Okay, rolling for the rest of the attack. We have a boosted mountain infantry at 3. 4 boosted infantry at 2 in the mountains. There's what I need. That's all. Okay, and in defense, we have 1 militia rolling at 4. There's a hit, so we're going to lose an infantry. And that's all. So the 41st loses an infantry. And takes not Sumatra, Malaya. We have 1 more combat to roll in Calcutta. Alright. We're going to Calcutta. We'll start with the not really screening combat. Um, we have 3 French submarines engaging the continuing force, rolling at 3. Oh my goodness, they got 2 hits, one of them target select, so the naval transport is sunk. And the heavy cruiser is sunk too. We do get to roll the heavy cruisers, 2 at 6, just 1 hit. So 1 French sub is dead, and then the 18th loses a heavy cruiser. And then that assault fails immediately. That's unfortunate, but I had good enough luck elsewhere. I'm not so angry at that. Okay, with that, I do believe the combat phase has concluded. Okay. So let's go ahead and land aircraft. Oh. I don't think I know what happens with this tactical bomber. Does it have to fight in Calcutta when the rest of the amphibious assault gets bounced? I don't know. I would like to retreat it immediately and not risk it. It's got a 25% chance of dying if it has to roll. So I guess I'll send some messages and ask and see what's up. But that's going to have to land on the 8th carrier, which is just 1 tile away. Okay. We have... Jeez. In P60, we're going to keep this... We're going to... Not 60. It's 59. We're going to keep the seaplane on map because I'm afraid of the submarines. In P61 and Java, we have 3 tactical bombers that are going to land. Oh no, it's 2 tactical bombers and a fighter. The fighter is definitely going to land 1, 2, 3 in Siam, 18th Air. The fighter from Sarawak is going to be going there as well. One of the tactical bombers, the one from Sumatra with 3 left, is going to be flying 1, 2 to P41. We've got one of them from P61 flying to P60, landing on that carrier. The last one is going to fly back to Siam. 1, 2, 3. We also have a tactical bomber with 3 left from Borneo, flying 1, 2, 3, also to Siam. Okay. Alright, that ends the aircraft landing. I'm a little scared. Yeah, okay. Alright, with that we should be on to the non-combat. We don't have any non-combat movements. Alright, so let's go ahead and place buys and collect income. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Let's get straight into it. We will place the strategic bomber in Siam, heavy tank in Manchuria, and then we will be going ahead and attempting to take Kwangtung for the Dadao. We will be rolling at a 4 or less. We have 2 territories and we paid 2. We do not need to have owned territory at the start of the turn to roll for the Dadao. Okay, so we'll be rolling a 4 or less. 12 turns into KMT. That's an 8 and a miss. Oh well. Okay, we have completed Asia for Asians as well, and we will be placing our reward for that. Airfield in Siam, and another minor factory in Siam. And then we will collect income. Yeah. Okay, so we have a base income now of 34. I think we get no more oil because we're at war with the Allied major powers. Let's check that. Well, snap. I'll go ahead and check that before sending answers over. Before sending the file over. We at least get 6 plus 34 for 40. We saved none. Okay, there it is. Yeesh, that could have gone a lot better in a few places. Okay, we'll leave things there, and I believe things should be ready to pass everything along for the next British Commonwealth and French turns. So yeah, best of luck on your next rolls.